Hello and welcome to the channel, Love Yourself Spiritual. I'm Peggy, and I thought tonight we would just pull a couple of cards and possibly see what Spirit might want to speak to our inner child. And I think we'll just do 2 inner child cards and then maybe a couple of downlines and clarifiers as needed, maybe some charms, we'll see. Oracle, we'll see what Spirit has and what they might want to talk to us about tonight. So I'm just going to quickly call in our guides and we'll get started. Divine Spirit, we would just ask you to come and preside over this. Help us to have understanding of what is needed. Archangel Michael, will you watch over us? Any ancestors, both mine and anyone else's who is here at this time. Please, you are welcome. Thank you. Okay, so just gonna put some glasses on. This is Amanda Aisling's Inner Child Oracle. It's absolutely one of my favorite decks. I love it. I think it's really, really beautiful. Let's do a couple shuffles. I did pre-clean the decks. And the space with Clary Sage. So we'll just go ahead and get started. You don't have to go it alone. It's our first card out. Numbers 4 and 3, 43. Fours are about foundations. 3s are about creativity. And 3 is actually a number of the inner child as well. There we go. One more. Let go of the past. It is time to envision a new story. Okay. And that's numbers 21, 2 and 1, balance, beginnings. And if you go let go of the past, then a new beginning, of course, is going to start. And you do not have to go it alone. 43, reach out for support in this time. Quite a few 3s and adding up to 3s, so maybe these are inner child numbers. 7 is the number of spirituality, and that 4 plus 3. So that's the numerology of these cards. I'm just going to show you the cards. This one's really beautiful. It has a really beautiful sky and there's sun. I love a card where like the clouds are parting, the sun is coming. You can see he's out rowing his boat. And it does look a little bit lonely. Definitely looks a little forlorn, but then there is sun. Like you can see there's evidence that there's sun there. And sun is, of course, the giver of life to us humans, both us and plants. At least on this planet. Let go of the past. It is time to envision a new story. Really pretty. I love those. Water lilies, lotus. Actually, I think it might be lotus. They're really, really beautiful. Okay, let's see. What deck should we use, Spirit? What would you like us to use? This one. I love this deck. Just do a few shuffles and sort of downline for the you don't have to go it alone. We're never really alone. If you know anything about quantum physics, has discovered that atoms, which we're made of, have 99.99% empty space in them. And what's interesting about that is that empty space also is not actually empty. The space that surrounds our atoms is, or that's within our atoms, because the 0.001% is matter. So we're only 0.001%. Of course, there are 300 trillion of them that make us up. But that empty space, they've discovered, is not empty at all. And they've actually proven the existence of God in that empty space, because that space is plumb full of energy. The energy that is us is what that empty space is. And that empty space is continually and always divinely connected to our source. So our divine connection is literally in every single atom of our bodies. And so you're never really alone. The divine spirit is always moving through you, with you, and could never abandon you. Not while you're in this form. Okay, let's see what they have for us. 2 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Aww. The bottom of the deck is a King of Pentacles. I always do the bottom of the deck as supporting energy, maybe the energy that you don't see. 10 of Cups is after that, 10 of Pentacles. It's really beautiful energy. So 2 of Cups, a lot of times will be, people may refer it to as a romantic relationship. However, it doesn't have to be. So the way I read my downlines is mental energy, emotional energy, and spiritual energy. So the 2 of Cups is about 2 souls coming together. It's often considered a soul bond energy. It doesn't have to be intimate, as far as intimate partners. It can be friends, the bond between 2 friends, family members. So it can be anyone that you're in a relationship. And 6 of Pentacles is about balance. And of course, as you can see, this person has their hand out to receive. And so I think Spirit is just saying you have intimate connections that you should ask for help from at this time. And Page of Cups, those little pages, and pages are energy that we push out of ourselves. This one's actually a really cute card. Even some of our intimate connections are animals. That's a little dog, man's best friend. And so the pages are like little messengers. So this is like a message of asking in love for help. Let's go ahead and let's get a couple of or a downline for the let go of the past. It's time to envision a new story. The only thing in life I think that is consistent is the fact that things aren't going to stay the same. I think always in life, while we would love for things to stay the same, the only thing that's really consistent is the fact that things will change. And I think as humans, we want to really hold on to things, I heard it called by Pema Chodron, getting ground, seeking to get ground in order to feel grounded outside of ourselves, as if something in the 3D could ground us when we're literally only 0.00% matter to begin with. So our grounding really has to come from that 99.99% of us, because it is by far the majority part of us. And so to seek to ground ourselves outside of ourselves leaves us a little bit dazed and confused, because the only thing that's really going to be consistent in life is that the 3D world's going to change. Our lives here are going to change. The only thing that doesn't change is the divine spirit that we're connected to. So letting go of the past in light of the fact that things will always change can be helpful. One of the things that I learned on my journey in letting go, when I was really, really struggling to let go of a couple of people, in which my relationship with them, as per my unhealed self, was making the relationships with them unhealthy. And I'm just going to just very briefly explain why, because for those of you who have or are struggling with being a people pleaser and the one who generally takes responsibility for the relationship to make sure everything is okay, to balance the relationship, to keep everything good. There was a point at which I knew that these two relationships were enough out of balance that I needed to take a step back and find out whether or not the relationship was going to be able to balance without my doing the majority of the balancing or the majority of the work in the relationship. And those relationships ended as a result of me just stepping back, just stopping to put the energy forward into the relationship. And that was really painful for me. It was painful for me not to want to reach out to rebalance the relationship for me to be okay. And one of the things, I was in a meditation with my inner child, and we were talking. And because your inner child is connected to the divine energy of Source, the relationship that I have with my inner child a lot of times will be as a channel to me, as I do for other people. And my inner child said, the reason that this is so hard for you is because you're looking at it wrong. And I said, how is that? And she said, because you think you have to let them go. And that's never the case. You can't let them go because you're spiritual and they are spiritual. So love them spiritually. Shift it in your mind. Just love them spiritually. It's okay to love them spiritually. The only thing you have to let go of is the toxic parts of the relationship, which really meant like the majority of the relationship. And today I am friends with one of those people, and the other one we never did. It's okay. And I'm okay with it. And I do love that person very, very much. And I really love what I learned in the relationship with them. They were someone who triggered me a great deal, which helped me to grow. And so but it was really hard for me to let go of my resentment and for being the one who carried the relationship, which just made me feel used, and allow the healing to happen. But that conversation that I had with my inner child, where she said, you need to love them spiritually and not try not to love them. And that shifted everything for me about it. So that's just a story about how maybe to let go of the past. And I wasn't really letting go. It was more of a shifting. I would call it a shifting. I'm just going to shuffle one more time, and then we'll see what Spirit has to say about that. Last shuffle, Spirit. Maybe. Apparently I didn't have those lined up quite right. Spirit wasn't happy with that. All right. What is supporting? Supporting energies is King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, that's the 3D world. That's the king of the 3D. If you want anything built, you get the King of Pentacles to build it for you, because he is the master builder. Well, you're just going to be ornery tonight. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you can see those. Let's see what our downline's going to be. The moon. So there's maybe something in your life that you don't see as being something that something in your past that you don't see maybe quite clearly, which is making it hard to let it go. 8 of Wands in reverse, and the 3 of Swords. Yes, this was painful. There's something painful there. So the 8 of Wands, if it had come in the upright, I would have said this was, take action. Either the action's coming towards you, or take action out. when I see the Eight of Wands in reverse, what that tells me is that not only is the subject that needs let go of or needs transformed, because I think it's more of a transformation. It's more about transforming something than it is maybe about letting something go sometimes, or just seeing it differently, more clearly. With the moon, when you say something is under the moon, the moon, under the moonlight, not a lot can be seen. A lot of times it's just sort of, it's not clear. Not like the sunlight. The sunlight, like, you can see the details of things in the sunlight, no problem. But in the moon, it's very difficult to see the details of a thing. And with this Eight of Wands then in reverse, which to me means stagnation. You're not making any progress. You're not moving on this subject. And I think Spirit is saying with the Three of Swords, yes, it was painful. We understand that this loss was painful, or even thinking about making, altering this situation, whatever it is. And it could be anything. It could be a relationship with a family member, an intimate partner, a friend. It could be loss of a job, the loss of a car, an animal. But I think we'll get a little bit more clarity actually on the moon. On the moon specifically. Let's get just a little. What else do you have, maybe, Spirit, on the moon? You have just a little bit more on this moon card. The supporting energy, or the energy that you don't see, the King of Pentacles being offered from Spirit about that. It's really saying that you could build a new story. It says time to envision a new story. And Spirit's really saying with this King of Pentacles, you have the wherewithal. You can build a new story easily. This is not even going to be hard for you, but you're going to have to tweak it. And maybe, I don't know if what I said about, my inner child telling me you can flip this script. You're looking at it wrong, if that can help you. Okay, so the moon, Two of Swords, Ten of Cups, as for further clarification. So the Two of Swords is a card of, in a lot of decks, it'll be two swords that the person is holding over their heart space. And so they're basically kind of blocking their heart. And swords, of course, they always denote our mental energies or our thoughts. So it's basically just like two thoughts that are crossed. I think this and I think this. So it could be, I feel this way and this person feels this way, and you're not coming to any conclusion about it. And you're also not listening to your heart. You're blocking, the energies of your heart that would possibly help. And generally the two is only an internal struggle. It can be an external struggle, but generally the two is a struggle within you, heart and mind, yin and yang. So what I would say, or what they're saying, is if you can put the swords down, quiet your mind, let some of the things in your heart out, then what will result is the Ten of Cups. And that's beautiful, because the Ten of Cups is fulfillment and love. And of course, it doesn't say how long this is going to take. I possibly might be as long as it takes you not to be mentally stubborn about trying to see it in a different way. I think a lot of times our healing takes as long as we need it to, and as long as we allow it to, both. And I would never encourage anyone to walk away from anything or let anything go until they've done at least the mental preparation for that to be done. Because the vacillation back and forth is often more painful and gets more confusing. So clear up some of what is going on in your mind by just pausing on the thoughts. Just pause. And maybe just go find a quiet place and just sit with the emotions. Let the emotions come up. Process the emotions by just sitting with them. Not running from them. Just sit quietly with the emotions. Meditation. always, 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 always will I be a person that will tell you to meditate. Meditation is really key to any real transformative experiences as far as your heart and your spirit goes. So I think I might push this not the stagnation. I think the Eight of Wands is in this downline is pretty darn clear, but I want to push this Three of Swords a little bit and just see if we can get a little bit of clarity on what this might have been about. And Spirit may want to be specific, and then they might not. We don't know. We'll just see what Spirit has in mind, possibly to show. He may want this to be a more collective message than specifically. Let's see how specific he'll let us get. What about this Three of Swords, Spirit? What else would you want the viewers to know about this Three of Swords energy? Seven of Cups, choices, sideways. Anything else? Somebody made other choices? Somebody made a choice. Three sometimes can indicate, not everyone and not every situation, but can indicate, that's a lot of sevens, can indicate a third party, of course. Not always, and don't take that as the truth, of course, if that's not your story. Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, and Four of Swords. Okay. All right, so Seven of Cups, and so the Seven of Cups is sideways. So there was someone involved in this, possibly, thought that there could potentially be a better choice. Felt that at least that they, at the very least, had options. And the Seven of Swords after it, this is, this is a coyote energy for me a lot of times. And in this position, it really does feel like someone thinking they had other choices, tried to get away with maybe a little bit of trickster, maybe not being completely honest, maybe not fully investing or committing. It's just an energy of non-committal to something that would otherwise be balanced and be right. And then I feel like the Four of Swords very possibly is you. And that this person, is trying to... The Four of Swords for me is resting your mind. Because, of course, it's mental energy. And it's just needing to take time out. So as I said about the moon, my suggestion would be to meditate. And I think that is exactly what Spirit is also saying. They're saying, yeah, there was... somebody took a path where thought some other choices were good, and maybe tried to trick you, tried to trick somebody, and possibly it's you. Maybe you thought there was, the grass might have been greener or something, and then didn't get away with it, and that's all right. That's all right. This is how we learn. We learn by making mistakes, and I'm not saying if that's not your story, don't take it. I'm not saying that is what anyone has done here. But potentially the energies are such that could happen. But ultimately, in order to put the past in a perspective that will help you to heal, Spirit is definitely saying, take a rest on it. Rest on the energy. Take a time out. Do some meditating. Sit with your pain. Definitely sit with your pain. And I'm going to see if the Spirit would like to give us just a couple of healing energy cards. Possibly. Especially for this, you don't have to go it alone. if you've been through something really bad, like what it looks like on this downline, it looks really painful. Three of Swords is always painful. I always say that's the most painful card that there is. Reach out for support in this situation, and let someone be there for you. And the supporting energy on this, you don't have to go it alone, is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is the one who knows his heart, whose heart is solid and stable and ready and open. And so, and you are your own King of Cups as well. Don't ever forget that the 99.99% of you is connected to the divine, and there is so much love to be had there. And you're no more than a prayer away. You're no more than I need support. I need to feel loved. You only have to open yourself up to it. But also in your 3D world, here, reach out reach out for support. You deserve it. Freedom through faith. I calm my thoughts and rise above fear. I free myself of doubt by entrusting my doubts to God. I have faith in God's perfect timing and placement. I trust his will and find freedom. Yes, free yourself of the past. That's beautiful. Okay. That's what I have for you tonight. I hope that something helped you. Put in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you feel called and would like a personal reading or spiritual counseling, I offer that too, and you can look in the description box and send me a personal email in regards to any of that. So take care. Be blessed.